It's girly power. It's the coach. We're set to go. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in off the very rare tie a game ago.
And it'll be interesting to see what their mindset is going into this game. Sometimes that can be a deflator, and sometimes that can just really make you mad and more determined the next time out.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 10 now.
Let's go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. A look now at the defensive starters for Cleveland. And they've been pretty much a mess against the pass, number 31 in the league.
Theories abound. People have opinions. But too often for this team this season, it's been the big play that's done them in.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Here we go now.
Back to throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The numbers for him from a week ago, 6 catches, 118 yards.
And in doing preparation for the game, you notice where guys rank in the league in terms of statistical categories. He's 4th in the league in receiving yards. That caught my attention in a positive way.
On the give, this is Bettis. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They'll set up a throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Complete to Newsom. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is brought in at the 21. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And Old Sight didn't create a big play for the other team.
All right, here we go.
Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 24 carries, 114 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now. Number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
No. Check. Patriot. Set. Clean.
Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation allows him to get home.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Done the pick up there, and it'll be 2nd down.
How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings for some reason it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Hurry up, here we go.
Gurley again here on first down. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, here we go.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there.
All right, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
They'll drop to throw. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good.
Leopard. Leopard.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete. A gain of 8 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Leopard! Leopard!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Now they try the right side here, and he's going to get stopped up quickly.
Report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The gun. They'll look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, the D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Here we go now. 3
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Looking to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down.
Holding.
This might push him back further. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
The Browns on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll set up to throw. Fighting a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go now.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
You got to worry about a grounding call when you're throwing from back there. No flag on that play, but maybe, possibly.
Well, that's one that we have certainly seen called before.
Yeah, I think what you have to be cognizant of is where he is on the field. Is he in the pocket or out of the pocket by whether or not that flag will be pulled.
And they'll go on the ground. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
Holding offense.
Well, obviously, that is declined, and the result is a safety.
And what a momentum play. And you're going to get the ball back.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field.
Block in the back.
So let's see about the call. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sutton. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And they'll run it here. And he gets it down to the 32. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
All right, here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that. I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yeah, in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a gain of 6, and just like that, it's third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
At the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Lucky 56.
And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Call it a gain of a yard as it brings us to the end of the first half. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll begin in the AFC North as we head up to M&T Bank Stadium. Baltimore hosting Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who have the lead in the second quarter. The Bengals hoping to shake off a rough first month as a victory could get them back to 2-4. From there, it's up to New Era Field in Orchard Park to check on the Bills. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who are out in front. The Vikings seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And that game all tied up with the visiting L.A. Chargers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got his man on the out route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
No, check, Patriot.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Detroit!
And with a flag down, he goes down. so they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! Blue landing! Blue landing! Detroit! Detroit!
And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
But he will find his man on the end route, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now look at 56.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Gun, 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 gun.
They'll look to throw again. And he is into the end zone as that pushes the lead up to 6. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Quick throw here, that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a first down here.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Leopard.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. And the Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Side here, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Receiver complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
All right, here we go.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. They come out here in the eye. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, But when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. McManus's point after is good, and that will put them on top here in the third. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
How many times in the course of a game do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there. Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again, and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
And now they'll try to pile on. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Flush to his right, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Flip one out here to his running back. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That is caught inside the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The offense on third down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at third and a few inches. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And McManus able to put it through, and high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it.
Because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another 1st down as well. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 2nd down.
Gone!
Back to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only a yard on the pickup there, 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. In for the score. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Well, defense is going to have to start doing something different because this guy's absolutely carving them up, especially down here in the red zone. He's been one of the top receiving tight ends here in the first half of the season.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him with contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it a second down. They'll set up a throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And the Steelers on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 14. Incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Give him 30 yards there. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, so many times defensive backs get caught playing the man rather than the football, but not in this case. That's an excellent play. Did exactly what you're supposed to do. Attack the football and help break up the pass.
Yep, as a result, knocks it down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And now another one thrown incomplete. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. And he'll go on the ground. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they'll run it here. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Yeah, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Over! Watch him now, Barney! Over!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. An extra defensive back in the game here on 3rd and goal.
Detroit! Gone!
Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score now.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Agreed, that's twice.
When you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the 1st downs, and the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Now the Browns offense will stay on the field as they'll go for 2 here.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football. You want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The Steelers on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the play. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Looking to throw. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Green, 39. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though. Now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years.